I've been doing a lot of thinking about thought leadership, how thought leaders are created. We do a ton of that at PR Hacker. One of our practices is for a company or a brand that wants to be recognized as an expert company or a brand, or for an individual person who wants to be recognized as an expert in their field. We often have these campaigns where we establish them as thought leaders in 4 to 6 months. And so I wanted to kind of put down my thoughts and share a little bit with you today about what we're thinking, what we're working on, what's going to be in the presentation coming up in San Francisco and live streamed around the world on Tuesday, December 6th, and how this might be applicable to a project you're working on, and also it's just an excuse to say what's up to all my friends out there who I don't get to talk to every day. So in terms of thought leadership, the reason we picked this as a topic is because we really think that it's something that's important and critical for everyone, everywhere, even more so than before. And that really is because of the information overload we have now, where we're all connected. We all have mobile devices and we're checking those devices. We're all on social media and we're connected there too. And so there's all of this information around. And so what happens is you want to know, whose information do you trust? Who's the expert? Who's the person who is the go-to person? What's the brand that really knows, their field, and as a result, their product is better than anything else out there? And so you want to know who's the thought leader. So it has this universal application, and at the same time, being a thought leader, I think of it like a time machine. And what that really means is that when you're a thought leader, people come to you. People seek you out. People seek out your company, seek out your brand, seek out your professional opinion, your expertise. And what that saves in time is you don't have to seek all those people out. So when you're a thought leader, the great thing is that opportunity comes and knocks on your door. You don't always have to do the knocking yourself. And so the question then is, well, how can you become a thought leader? And is there any tricks and tips and shortcuts you can make to get there faster? And this is kind of where it's really exciting now. What we've been working on and thinking and studying a lot about is, back in the day, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if you want to be a thought leader, it was a much more drawn out process. A lot of people became a thought leader by writing a book. It's something I know a lot about because my whole prior career was writing books. I wrote a book called How to Go to College Almost for Free. Some of you who know me well know me when I was back as an author. And here's how you became a thought leader going the author route. You basically figured out a book you wanted to write that you had some knowledge or expertise about. You worked at least usually a year on the book. Usually a book would take me at least a year. Then if you'd either choose a self-publisher or else go the big publisher route, and then probably, especially if you went the big publisher route, it'd take another 9 or 10 months for that book to be released. Then go promote that book, make sure it does well, becomes a hit, and then lo and behold, 2-3 years later, you have the book, it's done well, you're recognized for it, and you're a thought leader. So yes, that still can work, but what has changed is the process can be so much faster. And that is because now you can leverage social media. If you can leverage mass media and get on TV shows quickly, it's not as hard as you think. You can leverage blogs, other types of content, short form articles that you might write. And you can speed up this process. So what used to be this 3-year process, now anyone can be an expert in virtually anything in 4 to 6 months. And that's exciting, that's powerful. At the same time, it's daunting because what do you do now? How can you spend your best time so you don't waste the next 4 to 6 months? So some of the things we're going to talk about in the event next Tuesday and just the things we've been working on include the rule of 3. And 3 is a magic number when it comes to thought leadership because of the power in grouping things in groups of 3. And so here's a way to think about it. One example of your expertise, of your thought leadership, that's a fluke. Anyone can get lucky once. 2 examples of your expertise, your thought leadership, that's a coincidence. It doesn't happen as much as the fluke, but sometimes lightning does strike twice. 3 examples of your expertise, now that's a trend. And the amazing thing about the number 3 is that once you have that trend, then you can claim expertise over the entire space with 3 examples. So you don't have to have 5, you don't have to have 10, 50, 100. It's great if you have more than 3, but 3 is all you need. So how do you create those 3 data points of your expertise, of your thought leadership in the fastest way possible? That's some of what we work on. That's some of what I'm going to talk about next Tuesday, but start thinking in terms of the rule of 3. Second thing is, how do you create ideas that naturally transmit and convey your thought leadership? So The thing about ideas is that an idea, when it's A, simple, B, surprising, and C, timely. What happens when it's simple, surprising, and timely? Here's the benefit you get as a thought leader. That idea is easy for someone else to repeat to another person. So what you're doing, and where I think a lot of people get tripped up in this, is like, okay, you want to be like understanding, like I want a brilliant idea. I want this amazing 20-page white paper that explains my opinions on this or that. And ironically, when you do what would actually take more time to execute, when you do that white paper, or heck, you do a whole book, unless it is also simple, surprising, and timely, then your ideas get lost along the way, even if they're brilliant, even if it's great, even if you are, in fact, the world's expert on a topic. But because someone who receives that information can't easily transmit it to someone else, it slows down the pace that you can become a thought leader. So one of the things we're going to talk about on Tuesday at the event is how do you create ideas that are really stickier? And two key components of that are, one, it's got to be something that not everyone else is saying, because if it's something everyone else is saying, you're a thought follower, not a thought leader. So it's got to be something different and unique and ownable in the way that you express it. But then two, it can't be too out of left field or too off the wall that it doesn't make sense to people right away. So in this age where we're all connected by social media, we're all connected to each other, where this viral circle between mass media and social media is faster than ever before, because we're all connected to each other like that, there is a premium placed on ideas that you can understand quickly. So can someone understand your piece of thought leadership in 5 seconds, in 10 seconds, in 15 seconds, instead of minutes? That's going to really speed up the process. And if they can hear it once and then transmit it to someone else, repeat what you said to someone else, that really, really speeds up the process, and that's what we're going for. So we're going to explore more about how to make ideas sticky. And I should also say, if you're interested in the event and you're in San Francisco, you can come in person. Or if you're one of my friends who's nice enough to tune in from somewhere else around the world, thank you. Thank you for doing that, for letting me have more than 9 people watching, so thank you. If you're doing that, let me tell you how you can attend or tune in. So if you go to our Eventbrite page, which is, for this event, it's beathoughtleader.eventbrite.com. So it's beathoughtleader.eventbrite.com. Sign up there for our event next Tuesday, December 6th in San Francisco. It's going to be at WeWork Civic Center. You can come in person. We'll answer a lot of questions. You actually have an opportunity to participate in a live brainstorm session where we'll help you with some quick ideas of how to establish your thought leadership. So that's for San Francisco Bay Area folks. If you're somewhere else in the world, we're going to live stream the event as well. So basically, you can go to our live stream event page, it's at events.benkaplan.com/thoughtleader. So again, that's events.benkaplan.com/thoughtleader. Sorry for a URL with my name in it. It's one we had handy. So if you can get past that, go there, sign up for the live streaming event, and we'll send you the link on the day of the event so you can tune in. And it will also be December 6th, 6 p.m., and that's Pacific time because we're here in San Francisco. So check that out as well. And the other thing is, let me know if there's any topics you really want covered. I mean, you can do so in the comments below. What this event is really for, so who is the audience, is, one, if there's startup founders out there listening who you want your startup to be recognized as a thought leader in its space, as the best brand or best product or best company in its space, this is going to be super useful. Two, if you're a manager or an executive or in marketing at a big corporation or a big brand, some of our clients here at Hacker are places like Budweiser or Del Monte or we've been working in the past for Coca-Cola or Milk-Bone, places like that, and you're like, okay, we're launching a new product or we're trying to get sales up, but being recognized as an expert or a thought leader in this new space we're going into would be useful. The event's going to be super useful. For people there who are building their personal brand, and my personal opinion is that we're all kind of building our personal brand, whatever you may be doing. So if you want to be a recognized, thought leader in fashion or social media, or you want your blog to be, to increase by 10 times your traffic on your blog or whatever it might be. If you want that personal expertise in the field, this is going to be super useful. Also, in terms of those in big organizations, if you just want to be thought of as a thought leader within your organization, so you're, that person, Hubert's the go-to person on like technology at this really big company. If you're a person like that, this is going to be useful as well. So it's really thought leadership in all its forms, and at the core of what thought leadership is, at PR Hacker, at least this is the hacker part of our name, is that we believe it's all about how do you create disproportionate leverage. And that means if you invest a minute or an hour or 10 hours in establishing your thought leadership, how can you get 100 hours or 1,000 hours or 10,000 hours worth of benefit through that disproportionate leverage? So we're looking at how do you speed up that process? What can you do to establish thought leadership more quickly? How can you, for instance, do things like you can go on national TV next week if you know how to give a TV producer what he or she wants in the format that they want it. We're going to talk about things like that. How can you create on something that's timely or trending? How can you leverage that in terms of social media to establish your thought leadership more quickly? How can you create a blog post or an article on Medium or something else? What are the ideas and approaches that establish your thought leadership faster? We're going to look at how do we create that time machine for thought leadership that just pushes everything forward. And then finally, one of the most exciting parts of the event is we have this, what we call a lightning pitch round, which is basically, if you want to participate, you go up for 30 seconds, you explain what your expertise is, what you want to be a thought leader about, and in the next 4 or 5 minutes, we brainstorm as a group all the things you can do to create that quick thought leadership process. And just to kind of sum all this up, the goal is how can anyone be an expert in anything in 4 to 6 months, as opposed to the 3-year process that it used to take if you had to write a book or something like that. And just a few other elements of my background. I've gone through this thought leadership process twice, personally, myself already. Those of you, thank you all close friends who are watching, thank you kindly for tuning into this, but those of you who know me know that my first career was really as an author. And I wrote a number of books. The one I was best known for was a book called How to Go to College Almost for Free on winning college scholarships and getting financial aid. And so I had established that when I was a 21-year-old recent college grad. No one knew who I was, had to establish thought leadership quickly. And then later that played out in terms of starting PR Hacker 3 years ago. We've become the fastest growing PR firm in the world, and we specialize in PR that's data-driven, growth-focused, viral optimized. And when I came to San Francisco a little over 3 years ago and didn't know anyone, we had to start that thought leadership from scratch. So that was how do you create that, and we use that thought leadership to fuel the business. And now we work with the largest brands in the world and many of the top startups in the world. So I had to do it there too. And so I really think it's something that no one is really taught. You don't really know how to do it, but it's just something that impacts your life in a lot of ways. And I know we've been thinking of this in terms of business terms or career terms, but even just you as an influencer in your group, among your peers, if there's causes you believe in, if there's something you believe in and you believe, wow, here in San Francisco we have a homeless problem that shouldn't be that way, and I would love to be able to influence that as a thought leader to get something done. Even if that's your passion, your goal, I think this process really helps, and it's worth studying. So you can tell I'm excited. I have a tendency when I'm excited to talk a little bit too much, so I apologize for that. But I'm going to go work on my presentation now because coming up, it's going to be next Tuesday, December 6th. Here in San Francisco, you can attend the event live, which is going to be 6 p.m. at WeWork Civic Center. Go to I believe the address is beathoughtleader.eventbrite.com to sign up and reserve your ticket. It's free, doesn't cost anything, but we have a limited number of seats. We need to know you're coming. And then 2, if you want to watch the live stream, there's a place where you can sign up. Go to events.benkaplan.com/thoughtleader. That's events.benkaplan.com/thoughtleader. Sign up there, and we'll give you, the day of the event, we'll send you the live stream link. And other than that, if you have questions or thoughts you want covered, topics you want covered, put them in the comments below. I'm super excited. I hope you can make it. Even if you can't, thank you for being kind enough to tune in as we do this live stream. And finally, I just end on this thought, which is, no matter what your expertise is, no matter what you're interested or passionate about, I think it's worth sharing that with others. And if you're going to share your knowledge, your expertise, your passion with others, why not do it from a place of thought leadership? Why not do it from a place of expertise? It doesn't have to be daunting if you kind of break it down into simple steps. And hopefully at the event coming up, and hopefully in this little live stream, you learned a few things here too. We can help you get there a little bit sooner. And I would love nothing more than my friends and colleagues and other people I've met along the way out there to get closer to where you want to be in terms of your expertise. So that's coming up. My name is Ben Kaplan. Hope you can make it, and I'll talk to you guys next time.